In 2025, millions of Americans who depend on Social Security could face a financial shock that most seniors never thought possible. And the scary part is that the majority of retirees over 62 still don't even know what's coming. For decades, Social Security has been treated as a safety net that would always be there, a guaranteed paycheck in retirement that you could count on no matter what. But today, the harsh reality is setting in. The government has already sounded alarms about the looming trust fund shortfall. And with Washington gridlocked over how to fix it, the ugly word cuts is now being whispered in every corner of the retirement planning world. If you're over 62, the timing could not be worse because once these changes are implemented, they won't just affect tomorrow's retirees. They could slash benefits for people already collecting checks. That means if you're receiving Social Security right now, or even planning to file within the next couple of years, your monthly income may take a hit. And unless you act immediately, you could lose thousands of dollars that you've worked your entire life to earn. Politicians are debating whether the cuts will come in the form of reduced cost of living adjustments, higher full retirement age thresholds, or across-the-board benefit reductions. But no matter what form it takes, the impact will be devastating to seniors who rely on every penny to cover housing, food, healthcare, and rising inflation. Picture this. You've budgeted carefully for retirement. You've calculated your expenses, and then suddenly your Social Security check drops by $200, $300, or more each month without warning. For many older Americans, that's the difference between filling prescriptions or skipping medication, between paying utility bills or falling into debt. That's why experts are urging anyone over 62 to take urgent steps right now to protect themselves. It's not just about claiming benefits early, although for some that may be the right strategy. It's about understanding the loopholes, the timing, and the alternative income strategies that can insulate you against Washington's next move. Financial planners are already pointing out that delaying until age 70 may no longer make sense if Congress forces deep cuts in the near future, because the bonus you're waiting for might evaporate before you even get it. Others warn that cost of living adjustments, already eaten away by manipulated inflation formulas, could be the first thing on the chopping block, meaning your check will shrink in real value every single year. There are also growing rumors of means testing, which could penalize middle-class retirees who thought they were safe because they had some savings tucked away. Imagine being punished for being responsible and planning ahead, while still watching your benefits decline. The bottom line is clear. Sitting back and hoping Social Security will stay the same is no longer an option. Seniors must take control now by exploring supplemental income streams, reassessing withdrawal strategies from IRAs and 401ks, and considering annuities or other tools to lock in guaranteed income regardless of what Congress decides. And most importantly, you must know your claiming options, because the difference between making the wrong move and the right move could literally add up to tens of thousands of dollars over your lifetime. Don't let anyone tell you this is fearmongering. The warnings are in black and white from the government's own trustees report, which admits the Social Security Trust Fund is projected to run dry within the next decade unless drastic changes are made. And what does drastic usually mean in Washington? You guessed it, cuts that ordinary Americans will feel first. If you are 62 or older today, your retirement is at the front line of this storm, and the choices you make in the coming months could decide whether you ride it out safely or get swept under by it. So ask yourself, are you prepared if your Social Security check suddenly shrinks in 2025? Do you have a backup plan if Congress quietly shifts the retirement age again or slashes cost of living adjustments behind closed doors? These are not hypothetical scenarios. They are real threats, and the clock is ticking. Every day that passes without action puts more seniors at risk of losing hard-earned benefits. And once the rules change, there is no going back. That's why the time to act is not next year, not when the cuts are announced, but right now. The seniors who will survive the 2025 shakeup are the ones who prepare in advance, who know the system inside and out, and who make smart, strategic moves before the government pulls the rug out from under them. The question everyone over 62 must be asking themselves today is not, will Social Security cuts happen? But rather, how do I make sure I'm not the one left holding the bag when they do? Because history shows that when Washington makes tough budget decisions, it's not the wealthy or well-connected who suffer first. It's everyday retirees who worked decades for the promise of a stable income. That's why experts are now warning seniors to stop assuming that the government will swoop in with a last-minute rescue. Even if reforms come, they're likely to involve painful compromises. And the harsh truth is that many of those compromises could leave you with less money in your pocket. So, what exactly should you be doing right now to protect yourself before the 2025 Social Security shakeup arrives? Step 1. Know your claiming options inside and out. Too many retirees make the mistake of filing blindly, without realizing that the difference between claiming at 62, full retirement age, or 70 can amount to hundreds of thousands of dollars over the course of retirement. But here's the twist. Waiting may no longer be the golden rule it once was. If cuts are looming, especially cuts that target delayed retirement credits, then claiming earlier could actually mean locking in a higher lifetime payout compared to waiting for a benefit increase that may never materialize. That doesn't mean everyone should rush to file tomorrow, but it does mean you need to run the numbers, consider multiple scenarios, and perhaps consult with a retirement specialist who understands the shifting landscape. Step 2. Diversify your income streams. Relying solely on Social Security is like putting all your eggs in one fragile basket, especially now. Seniors need to look at ways to generate income from investments, rental properties, side businesses, or even part-time work that not only supplements Social Security, but also shields them from the unpredictability of Washington's decisions. Think of it as building a financial lifeboat. You don't want to be left stranded if the main ship sinks. Step 3. Protect yourself against inflation. Even if benefits aren't directly cut, they're already being eroded in real value by rising costs of living. And with whispers of new formulas that would shrink cost of living adjustments even further, you must plan as if your check will buy less every single year. That means exploring inflation-protected securities, dividend-paying stocks, or annuities with inflation riders that give you a hedge against the slow bleed of purchasing power. Step 4. Watch out for means testing. This could be the silent killer of middle-class retirement plans. Congress may not dare slash benefits across the board, but they could implement income thresholds that reduce or eliminate benefits for those with modest savings or pensions. That's why tax planning is crucial. Strategically managing withdrawals from IRAs, Roth accounts, and taxable accounts could help you keep your reported income low enough to avoid falling into the means testing trap. In other words, how you take your money can be just as important as how much money you have. Step 5. Get smart about healthcare. Why? Because even if you lose a couple $100s a month from your Social Security check, healthcare costs don't just go away, they skyrocket. Medicare premiums are tied to income, and if cuts push you to tap other assets more aggressively, you could find yourself in a higher premium bracket. The solution? Proactive planning that considers not just your Social Security check, but the ripple effect on Medicare, taxes, and long-term care. And finally, step 6. Stay informed. Too many seniors miss out because they simply don't know what's happening until it's too late. Don't assume your financial advisor, your neighbor, or even the nightly news will tell you when the rules change. You must take ownership of your retirement destiny. Watch government reports, pay attention to Social Security announcements, and be ready to pivot the moment new policies are announced. The seniors who thrive after 2025 will be the ones who treat this like a chess game, always thinking a few moves ahead, always ready to adjust. The bottom line is this: Social Security cuts are no longer just a rumor. They are a near certainty, unless Washington pulls off a miracle. But seniors who prepare now can not only survive the coming storm, they can come out stronger. The choice is yours. Ignore the warnings and hope for the best, or take decisive action right now to protect every dollar you've earned. The clock is ticking, the stakes are high, and the window for smart planning is closing fast. Which side of history will you be on when the 2025 cuts arrive? The seniors who were blindsided, or the ones who saw it coming and secured their future? The answer depends entirely on what you do next.